For Global Business Update, Michael Wilson joins us now from London. Good morning, Michael.
Morning. Good morning, everybody. So as you can imagine, not a lot moving basically before the US inflation figures, which are out later today, shows what an interconnected world we actually live in, because whatever move the Fed is therefore prompted to make when it makes its decision about whether or not to raise interest rates again depends a lot upon these inflation figures. So what it's worth then, Hong Kong down about 0.7, Shanghai Composite down about 1%. So basically a fairly mixed reaction so far. Nintendo, that is the Japanese gaming giant. It's seen its revenues, its sales down 22%. One of the reasons for this is not just because of supply chain problems, but also people spending less money on games. They hope very much that Mario is going to help them out as far as that's concerned. Mario and Zelda, I should mention too. And basically what you're seeing there is a shortage of microchips as well, which is affecting everybody. We've talked about artificial AI, talked about artificial intelligence a lot on this program. Here's a company called Naver. They are one of the biggest ones in South Korea, a big search engine. AI is felt that it might just threaten the ad market. Not according to Naver. They're actually seeing a 23.6% increase in sales, and they're grasping AI as a way to getting to more people, more specifically. You have been warned as well, of course, because you'll find that ads are coming to you which are directly tailored to your past shopping experience. Singapore, now, throughout the world, we were talking about this on the program yesterday, there's been a sort of layoff of tech staff. Well, Singapore is actually not buying that story. What they're doing is they're training tech staff up. Hiring is on the increase. Banks, including DBS, which we were talking about the other day, are actually training more and more staff. Their picture of them just there to accept software. Robotics, for example, as just one, whatever that means. But that's what they're doing. So they're training people for tech. So to the United States then, and again, basically most things halted ahead of the inflation figures out today. So futures are relatively flat. But I should mention also, remember we'd be talking yesterday about Joe Biden calling the big four congressional leaders in yesterday. Well, very little progress was made on the debt ceiling, and we know that already US Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen has warned very, very, very unhappy about the result of that and the threat that it may cause to the US economy. We're going to hear from Disney and Robinhood today as far as corporates are concerned. And banks, basically, we've sort of left the banking reporting season away, but they actually, all of the big ones recorded record profits. And of course, what they were doing was quite simply sweeping up the wreckage from the failed banks as well, which has helped them a great deal, not to mention higher rates, which of course made them as lenders more profitable. We're going to talk now about a Saudi new television channel, which they are thinking of having as a rival to Al Jazeera. Al Jazeera tends to be funded by Qatar. This is the Saudis. They're going to throw money at this thing. They've already been in touch with media consultancies in London about starting a new television service. And the sky's the limit for this as far as spending is concerned. Whether, of course, it attracts the viewers, well, that's another thing. And that's down to the programme makers as well. What we're also seeing is we have been talking in the past about luxury goods and people spending more. That's certainly the experience of Lufthansa, Air France, KLM. They are upping their business and their first-class cabins to cope with the amount of people that are actually buying and wanting to fly specifically and go and travel first-class and business to holiday destinations. And not to be left out of this, Ryanair has ordered $40 billion worth of new planes from Boeing. That will effectively boost that jobs market by 10,000 as well. So all go as far as air travel is concerned. As far as the UK is concerned, now staying effectively with what's happening on aircraft. And Uber is branching out to not just taxis, not just ride hailing, but also flights as well. It's testing it out on the UK market. It sees outside the US, the UK is being one of the biggest markets, second biggest market for Uber, and they want to sort of get hold of the travel business and get it on their terms and profit from that. So Uber starting flight bookings. The UK has also, now this is an interesting one, 100% loans, call it what you like, for renters. And they will be, I'm learning also that this is the Skipton Building Society, and another building society is also joining in with this. And what they're doing is they're taking people actually, whether they've got the subscription for Pret and Netflix and so on. If they have, then it shows that they have the sort of money around to keep these mortgages afloat. So that's very high loan to value, 100% mortgages for renters starting off in the UK. Also, the UK but is being held back by, and this concerns the health of the nation. This is the Department of Environment, Food and Rural Affairs, DEFRA, as it's called, and their computers apparently so old-fashioned, according to a House of Commons Public Accounts Committee, that they're threatening the health of the British people because they control a lot of that, and therefore they need their computer systems upgrading. And the good old John Lewis. Now here's the thing. Sharon White, who came in as CEO, is now facing the wrath of the employees. Now, they're not really employees. They describe themselves, anybody who works for John Lewis describes themselves as a partner because they have a slice of the business. And Dame Sharon White is coming under a lot of pressure from the governing council to try to sort out what's gone wrong with John Lewis. I suspect there's some fairly angry people amidst the workforce there, whether they're called partners or not. Oil is up on, now here's an interesting one. The United States may be filling its strategic reserve. So oil's definitely up on that. Gold proceeding just as it does. It's liking the fact, the gold price is liking the fact that the debt ceiling crisis is long drawn out. Most people retreat to gold when there are problems, and that is no exception on this morning. And of course, they will naturally, gold traders will be looking at those inflation figures out later today to try to see or guess which way the Fed's going to go. That is the global view this morning.
Well, thank you very much, Michael. Unfortunately, we won't be able to field questions. We're trying to manage time.